Thank you for watching this video. To best support the channel, please take a moment and click the subscribe button. Also, the links to purchase this fly and the materials to tie the fly are in the description. Today we're tying up the red-tailed Renegade variant. This is a fly that I grew up fishing on alpine streams, and I loved fishing it. It was such a fun fly to tie. In the vise we have a size 14 Moonlit Tagata ML 101 hook, and we have some red classic wax 6/0 thread from Semperfli. What we're going to do is get our thread attached on, and we're going to measure out half a hook length worth of a clump of saddle hackle feathers. It's just a little red tag that we'll be having on the back of this. Tie that in on top of the hook, trim it out and clean up your mess, and we'll go ahead and get this fly going. As I mentioned, I grew up fishing this fly, and I know that it's going to catch all sorts of fish. So what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to tie in a brown hackle that's sized appropriately for the hook. We'll spin our thread to cord it up nice and tight, and then tie that hackle in. Strip just a small segment of the hackle just to give you a cleaner tie-in point. Advance your thread out of the way, and then do several hackle wraps. This fly can be fished almost as a wet fly or a subsurface fly or a dry fly, depending on how many wraps you want to put on for the hackle. I'm making this one a little bit more bushy so that I can use it as a dry fly for, like I mentioned, alpine streams, and also for the local bluegill pond. So once we get that tied in there, bring our thread back to where our hackle is ending, and we're going to catch our hackle with a quick crossing wrap. We'll do that twice to make sure that's locked into place. And then take your scissors and be careful not to cut your thread, but trim out that hackle stem. The next thing that we'll go ahead and do is we'll tie in 2 pieces of peacock herl. I like using 2 just because it gives me a little bit more durability when I'm wrapping, and it gives me a little bit more of a full body. Tie that in, and then we'll go ahead and just do some tight touching wraps, building up a little bit of bulk for the middle section here. And once we have that wrapped up, we're going to leave a similar amount of space as we used to take for our brown hackle for our grizzly hackle. The original version used a white hackle for the Renegade. I'm using a grizzly hackle. That's one of the reasons why it's a variant, but both versions work really well. So we'll go ahead and tie this hackle in. And I just noticed that I have a little bit of hanging peacock herl. You can break that off, or you can grab your scissors and trim it off. So I just trimmed that out there. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my hackle again and do some touching wraps, leaving a little bit of space in front of the eye of the hook to build up a head and catch our hackle to tie it off. We're just going to wrap that into place. Make some nice wraps forward. And then once you're to where you want it to tie off, go ahead and grab your thread, catch your hackle, and tie it off. Bring everything back to get it out of the way so that you can tie your thread in. And then do a couple reps to lock that into place. Grab your scissors, trim that out. Pardon my hand for being in the way. Build up a small little head. And I'm trimming out those little flyaways that got caught. Have a little head built up, then grab the whip finish tool. And after you whip finish this fly and trim your thread off, you'll have a completed fly. As always, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for tying flies with me and visiting the shop. The link for the materials in this fly will be in the shop, and please take a moment to like, subscribe, and comment. I really appreciate all of your support. Have a great day, tight lines, and get out there and go fishing.